Thank you for checking in. Today is March 21st, 2025. This week we saw two astronauts who were stuck in space in the International Space Station for 9 months return safely to Earth. As I watched the recovery efforts live off the coast of Tallahassee, Florida, all I kept thinking about was, where have these two astronauts been going to the bathroom for that extended period of time? I guess I'm not alone in that thought because it is one of the most commonly asked questions for astronauts visiting the space station. Well, after further digging, I found the answer. The space station does have a bathroom, which they call the WHC, or the waste hygiene compartment, for both number ones and number twos. Going number one is pretty straightforward. You pee into a tube that is assisted by a fan and vacuum that sucks the liquid waste through the tube and into the urine process assembly below the floor. And it is converted back into, you guessed it, drinking water. Yummy. Going number two, visitors sit on an uncomfortable looking seat and poop into a bag. The waste and toilet paper are then sealed and pushed into a larger metal canister below the seat. The garbage disposal looking canister holds about 30 deposits and is changed out after it becomes full. What normally happens with the solid waste is that it is sent on its way in a vehicle like Cygnus, an expendable American automated cargo spacecraft designed for International Space Station resupply missions, and is burned off in the Earth's upper atmosphere. Fun stuff. Okay, this week we return to AHR as Eric Awney and Andy Mickelson talk with Caleffi's Max Rohr and the company's Angle Mix product, and an interesting discussion on how they prefab for jobs.
How do you know if just the base product assembled on site is the way to go, or if you should go with a kit that has pivot fittings or that has the flexible stainless to go around the top of a vent? Like, what's the decision-making process that you guys have for that?
For me, I'm doing a lot of the same thing over and over. And as a service and plumbing, heating, repair contractor, I see everything in my community, but a lot of times what you see within your community tends to be the same repeat thing over and over.
If I'm standing in the shop, I got a tank sitting there, it's in the box, I got this in the box, I have a hard time because I may not be the one installing it.
Yeah, that's
in Eric's case, he's installing it. He knows exactly hey, I'm going to do it like this because this is the way I'm going to do it.
Really good information, guys. Next, the Associated Builders and Contractors report that government-registered apprenticeship programs still do not meet construction workforce needs. At current rates of participation and completion, federal and state government-registered apprenticeship programs are still failing to meet the construction industry's short and long-term skilled workforce, according to an annual Associated Builders and Contractors analysis of recently released U.S. Department of Labor data. On January 24th, ABC projected the construction industry workforce shortage to be 439,000 in 2025. The Department of Labor's data presents 5-year trend lines indicating there has been stronger proportional growth in the number of non-union government-registered apprenticeship programs. Apprentice participants and apprentice completers compared to union-affiliated government-registered apprenticeship programs since 2019. According to Ben Brubeck, ABC Vice President of Regulatory Labor and State Affairs, with construction unions representing a record low 10.3% of the workforce, the fact that 69% of all apprenticeship programs participants are in union programs illustrate why the union lobby pushes for registered apprenticeship requirements on taxpayer-funded construction projects and advocates for federal grant money for government-registered apprenticeship programs as a whole. Workforce development solutions outside of the government-registered apprenticeship programs paradigm are a threat to union market share. Next, we continue with our two-part article on TENS, or thermal energy networks. Why are TENS the future? Thermal energy networks represent the next solution in energy systems, offering a path to decarbonization while improving efficiency and reducing costs. Whether adopted by urban center, industrial complexes, or residential neighborhoods, TENS can dramatically reduce energy dependencies and support long-term climate goals. It's not just about scaling renewable energy, it's about harnessing it smarter. By integrating geothermal technology, heat pumps, and innovative distribution systems, TENS set a precedent for sustainable energy solutions we can all count on. Check out the feature written by EggGeo's Mark Miller right here on mechanicalhub.com. If you haven't checked out Season 5, Episode 5, Rock Bottom of the American Plumber Stories, you need to. The guys catch up with Marianne Bocott at The Lady Plumber on Instagram as she tells her story of rising up through the dark times in her life to become a successful businesswoman and social media content creator. In her own words, I'm all in or not in it at all. Check out the Appetite for Construction podcast. Over on the Make Trades Great Again podcast, the guys take the week off. You can always check out what they're up to on Mechanical Hub YouTube page for past podcasts and archive podcasts. We always encourage feedback from our social channels. Again, you can find this and more over at Plumbing Perspective, mechanicalhub.com, and Instagram and TikTok, Facebook. You can always catch up with what Eric's doing on Mechanical Hub's YouTube page. Also, we just launched the Plumbing Perspective page as well. Be sure to follow our LinkedIn page as well. Keep up to date with everything plumbing, HVAC, and mechanical by subscribing to our weekly newsletter. And again, we will see you next week. Have a great weekend, everyone.